What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. This time featuring a fun Pokemon that I featured before, Suicune. Really solid Pokemon in terms of laning stage, team fighting, just generally very solid at every point in the game, and sort of why I enjoy him. If you like this video, leave a like, let me know. Subscribe for more stuff like this in the future. Comment if you like. Anyway, we'll be getting into it shortly. This is a Groudon game I had recorded still, so I thought I would narrate it and give you a bit of a glimpse of a different meta, so to speak, before we had some of these different Pokemon that we have now. But still, a fun time. The enemy team has Sableye on it, which makes it a little weaker in terms of their overall team fight presence throughout the game. So my goal in the team fight is going to be just to make use of the numbers advantage we have, you know? Really pressure them into fighting us unfavorably if we can, and then use that to our advantage. But for now, we're laning with Gardevoir, who is going to need a lot of help early on to be useful. But that's okay, Suicune's a very strong laner. It's part of why I enjoy him. Another part, I should say. There's lots of parts of why I enjoy Suicune. Yep, we easily get the contested there. No questions asked. Bit of a strange freeze from the Lapras there, but, you know, we won't question it too much. Once again, I'm using the strat of putting all the birds into the bush with me to make it harder for the enemy team to contest them before securing the last hits there. If you don't know, you can stand in the top left corner of the grass there, and all the Natus will walk to you. And they'll be in the grass with you. With Espeon's gank up here, I decided to try to make it the most of the gank that we can. But unfortunately, there's not a lot we're able to get done, and I don't want to freeze death, so I flash out, use the space to farm the contested farm that comes up, before going in again to help DPS them down now that they're off their pad, which is really the only time a duo like that can be taken down with our Pokemon. Thankfully, rather than rotating bottom, in this case, the Espeon managed to make use of the fact that we were still top, and we forced the Ceruledge to come top instead of us going bottom to meet him. It's generally better when the enemy mid wastes more time walking around than your mid does, which is what happened there. Oh, what's up, Kibo? Coming to say hi. Show up on the video, make a nice cameo appearance. If you like Kibo, like for that as well. Now, in terms of Surf versus Whirlpool on Suicune, I tend to prefer Surf these days. Not only because it was buffed in the last patch where they buffed Suicune, but I think that it provides a little bit more with a lower cooldown than Whirlpool does. Whirlpool does give you 2 activations for 1 move, proccing your boosted attack on its own. But Surf is a low enough cooldown that you can spam these out pretty nicely. Unfortunately, with the Sableye there, the last hit is a bit tenuous, so I decided to make sure we get it. Managed to get the Sableye as well on the way out, but I am taken out as a result of the Ceruledge pressure. Ceruledge is a Pokemon that Suicune generally has a decent time dealing with, but if he gets on top of you, he can be a huge problem to deal with. Suicune has a hard time getting Pokemon that are in your face a lot. But with Lucky up here, my goal is to stay up here, pressure this lane instead of going bottom. Even though I saw the Hoopa Shield there. Or not Hoopa Shield, Hoopa Portal. And then Icy Wind, again, I have a similar philosophy to Icy Wind with this. It's a lower cooldown move, and so I feel like getting more uses of your moves out is generally better. I tend to like lower cooldown moves in general. Not in every case, but in cases where the effects are comparable enough, I tend to prefer them. The Ceruledge gets his ult off there, which is bad timing for our team. With the Espeon still bottom, our team fight is looking a little lacking. We don't have the damage we need to quite finish off these Pokemon, unfortunately. But Espeon's going to start making her way up now, hopefully. Right? Right? Espeon, come on? No. Not quite. That's okay. Thankfully, they're losing people bottom to the Regirock, so even though they're going to get it, they're not going to get it on everybody. But seeing they have people bottom stall, I decided to start making my way towards the Lucky at least a little bit to pressure them into fighting us for it. Basically, I'm trying to make use of the fact here that we have more people in the area than they do. But unfortunately there, the enemy Pokemon are just a little too tanky for us to take out with the moves we were using, and they take me on the backswing. Zapdos showing up as well doesn't really help matters, but bottom lane then can easily get done what they're doing, I would like to hope, so my goal is still just to play top lane and make sure we can get stuff done up here if possible. The massive area of effect of Icy Wind and Surf together allows me to both pressure the Sableye and freeze the pad there. With the Espeon ult there to help line them up, I decided to throw out mine here, which, with the HP that they're at, is enough to take a lot of them out. Getting a very nice set of KOs on the Suicune, boosting me straight from level 9 to level 11. It's generally what you like to see if you're going to be playing Suicune. Well, any Pokemon really likes that, but especially on Suicune, getting a huge level jump like that for your plus move, for more levels on the opponent, is really, really nice. Like all all-rounders, Suicune really benefits from the level differential you can generate in terms of being more tanky and more damage efficient. The burst damage of Icy Wind is also a lot higher than Ice Beam, I will note. So if you're looking at raw damage numbers, even though Ice Beam can hit in a higher area and potentially deal more damage that way, Icy Wind I think is better raw damage against single targets, or if you can land your shot guaranteed. Unfortunately, in the meantime, with all these people top, we are going to have to give up our pad. We can get here afterwards to contest, but it's not really good enough. And even with the ult here out of me, yeah, they're easily able to spread out, dissipate, avoid our attacks, and escape. So I decided instead here to call for retreat and go for some safe farm. Again, being an all-rounder that benefits from levels, I just want to be getting my levels safely if I can, and there's not really much else to do, which is the current situation right now. There's some fighting going bottom, but it's something I'm not really concerned with because there's no objective down there, and the next one is top, so the main source of my fighting, or the main aim of my fighting, is to get the top objective if we can. I fight the red buff there to get my level 13 for both my plus moves and more damage, hoping that Gardevoir and I can take this out while the enemy team is distracted bottom. Unfortunately, Suicune's damage alone against objectives is not the best, so you definitely want an attacker to come and help you in situations like this. And eventually, Gardevoir figures out her job and decides to come help out. Suicune has good damage against large groups of Pokemon, but against single target objectives, not really. Especially since the biggest asset to his kit, his ability to freeze opponents, is negated by objectives. Both the map lead and the team lead, my team decides to score bottom. I will back them up just to make sure it gets done safely without anyone getting knocked out. And then we'll make our way towards mid, which is the next stop on this wild journey of ours, right? Unfortunately, the Hoopa gets taken out there, but he already uses ult, so he's sort of not one of the biggest assets on our team at this point. Really, I'm just looking to keep us alive if we can, but the team fight is getting so spread out, so stratified so early on that it's very difficult to keep us all together the way we need to be. So I decided to focus on where I can, just get the two people on the pad, and it ends up working out pretty well here. We get the Cerulege, and with the Buzzwell's help, the Lapras too. This gives us time for our teammates to catch up with us, which is great because we definitely need people in the area. We don't want the enemy team getting Kyogre, or I'm sorry, Groudon as it is on this map. Like I said earlier, this is a Groudon game if you hadn't noticed. But we are, again, we're still in the lead on points, so I'm not really concerned with getting the objective done. I'm more so just concerned with preparing for the refight, keeping vision in a good area, staying vigilant and ready. I already used my ult, so that's one asset we don't have moving forward. And we do have a huge lead, so even if the Sableye scores some points, we'll still be in the lead, so I'm not really worried about him either. The Sableye dodges here and gets in between all our attackers, which is where we do not want him, but the guard of our ult picks him off, thankfully. Zapdos scoring top means that we have the room we need to finish this off easily. Despite the threats they have in the area trying to secure, they are not really able to when we have all the people we do instead. It sort of goes to show why playing as a team is so important in the end of the game. And from here, it's pretty much clockwork. It shows why the buffs are so important. The point lead we've gotten at this point, even if there's another minute in the match, would not be something the enemy team could easily get back, even if they can get our buffs back. All that to say, no matter what caveats you can come up with for the enemy team here, they're going to have a hard time with something like this. Of course, this match does a good job of showing off why Suicune's a great team fighter in the mid game. He's great for objectives late game, obviously, with his ult. And early game, he's really strong at pressuring lane as well. He's a Pokemon that really succeeds at all parts of the game, and it's a big part of why I enjoy him, and it's a big part of why I enjoy any legendary Pokemon. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you. If you like this video, like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And if you are watching this the day it goes up, I'm going to be streaming later today on Twitch, so check the description for the Twitch link if you want to come check it out. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.